Welcome to another episode of what I'm calling Shine right now. I've been doing so many different things right now on YouTube that I know I'm doing everything wrong, but I'm having a blast doing it. So I want to talk to you about that before we get into a really cool email here. And if you would like to call and talk to me, if you have any questions, I will put up that phone number right now. Just call it any damn time you want. Let me put this up for that. Let's go with that. All right. Good to see you guys. Let me hit the chat. Let me hit the people in the chat. Good to see you, Mike. Hope you're having a great day yourself. It's Mellow Daniello. Hi, Mellow Daniello. I haven't seen you in a long time, even heard from you in a long time. Good to hear from you. Hello, Caleb. Good to see you, man. All right, so before we get into this great email and, and all this other stuff I want to hit on, I went to the gym today. I know you don't care, but I did want to tell you this. I noticed a couple things at the gym today. First of all, I really haven't stepped up my workouts like I said I was going to do. I'm still doing a white 40-year-old woman white workout. You know, a couple kettlebells, some stretchy things, treadmill. I have yet to, I got my big giant thing to drink. You know, where is that? Is that here? Oh yeah, here it is. And all that kind of crap. But, you know, I really haven't stepped up the workouts like I want to do. Hey, Sasan, good to see you, buddy. But first of all, a quick update before we get into the gym thing. I have an update on the Butter Show. A lot of people want to know about the Butter Show, and I'm going to show you something, and you tell me if this needs to be in the Butter Show or not. All right, let me hit live. Let me do
Neon lights paint the sky tonight, a world that's glowing, feels so right.
Okay, maybe not. Would you guys like to see that again? Let me show that one more time again. You know, for the people that have a good sense of humor.
Neon lights paint the sky tonight, a world that's glowing, feels so right.
Anyway, so I saw that online today. Thought I'd throw that way. But yes, the Butter Show is, like I said before, it's been edited by a professional, and it looks good. I wouldn't say too good. But the problem is, if I post it, then everybody's going to have that expectation. And then the next show I post, maybe I'm thinking too much about this. Then the next show I post, it's going to be ugly, you know, and people are going to go, what the hell? So we're working on it. We are working on it. It will be by the end of very, very soon. And possibly by the end of this week. It'll be up there. Hi, Casey. Good to see you, baby. Bobby, good to see you in Panama City Beach. Hello, Nick. Good to see you guys. And so that's what's going on. But I noticed this at the gym today. And I do want to give you ladies. This is a tip for you ladies out there. Okay? And I don't want to be one of those guys that acts like guys have it hard. But you do need to know this. And I guess it's the time that I go to the gym because I go at a time of day that most people that have jobs, guys especially that have jobs, they can't get there at that time. You know, it's kind of a weird off time. And the only other guys that are there are older guys. And I'm here to tell you, hell has no fury than an aging dude who hasn't really accomplished any of the things he wants to accomplish. You can tell these guys, including myself, are doing everything we can to hang on to any last good day, any last day your knees don't hurt, any last glimmer of hope. Maybe if somebody shoots you a side-eye look, or we're just doing our best just to hang on to any single thing that we have. Desperation. They should call it desperation time at the gym. That is when guys go to the gym who are absolutely desperate and just are really pissed off. You could tell, they have an aura about them, including myself, where not only you're doing your best to hang on to what you still have, maybe turn back the clock a little, which is pretty much impossible, but you're going through your whole life while you're working out all the things. At least I am. All the things that I haven't accomplished. all the things where I really wanted to make things happen. And you're looking at yourself in the mirror when you're doing the dumb kettlebell squat and you can barely get down, and you're looking at yourself and you're going, what the hell has come? What has come of me? What has become of me? And it's really tough. So ladies, if you got a guy that is 55 plus, I don't know the right age, but it could be any age when you just feel like you haven't lived up to your full potential. But if you've got some time left, you got some time left. So there's a little bit of glimmer of hope. You've got that feel about you. But guys like me and my age, just be kind to your guy. He will never tell you what he's going through. He will never tell you that he's desperate and he doesn't know where to turn. And there are no people out there that he could trust or talk to about it because you feel freaking ridiculous. So be kind to your guy. All right. It is a real tough time in life. It's weird because I've always in my life, I had a really weird childhood, and some people would say it's tough, but I'm not here to whine or complain about it. But when I was 15 to 20 something, 25, that was a real tough age to me. That was really hard to be who I am. And then I started to get hope. I started to learn how to manifest. I started to learn how to journal. I started to see some positive results from putting myself in a right frame of mind to make things happen. And I really was very excited about life in general. Then you get to a place where it gets pretty tough. There's some real awkward ages. And right now I put the age that I'm at as equally as awkward as when I was 15 without the hope. You don't know what's going on. Your body's going through weird things. Like when you're 15, you're popping up zits. Your voice is cracking. You're doing all kinds of things. Everything about you is fucked up. Everything about you is fucked up. And I know the girls go through this as well. It is tough. So it is just a real strange thing. So, but this is a little different at this age. You still get the thing that nobody's looking at you. You've lost all sorts of sex appeal. I mean, I'm to the point now where I am seriously, this is between us, where I am seriously thinking about letting my hair grow longer, thinking that that's going to magically change the way I'm looked at. But I'm thinking about doing it. Maybe not like mullety or anything, but just really long on the top and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking about it. So don't be shocked. I'm going to have that really weird thing going if I decide to do this. But when I do it, make no mistake about this. It's because I am uncomfortable as hell. It's because I feel strange as hell, okay, about being the age that I am. So it's good to see you guys here. Hello, Rich. Rich is saying, amen. Jesse, getting older is a blessing in disguise. Jesse, in a certain way, you're absolutely right. In a certain way, it's nice to know, but not really. I mean, right now, I believe my life is a blessing in disguise because I'm not broke. I'm definitely not rich, and I'm definitely not able to retire and just call it a day and downsize and do all that kind of stuff. I don't want to do that yet. I don't know if I will ever do that. And I've been working on a couple things that I have never told you guys about, and I will not tell you guys about until the time is right. This is where I've also just recently learned, keep your mouth shut, Terry. The Butter Show, prime example. It's coming out, but I talked about putting that thing out 3 months ago. 3 months ago, I talked about I got over 600 people to, subscribe to the Butter channel on YouTube. Thank you for those who did that. I'm very excited about doing it, but I've also been doing a couple other things on YouTube that, like I said, I love this streaming thing. Hey, David in Pensacola, good to see you, buddy. I love this streaming. This is why. The people in the chat, you guys could call the show if you want to. I could talk to you guys. Thank you, Sasan. Appreciate it. Saying, brother, you look great. See, I could put that up there. Ooh, Sasan, thank you. I appreciate that. But, I don't necessarily feel great. And this is going to go right in to the email that I got. Got it right here. I'm going to read this email. Okay. It says, where is it? What I do with the email? Oh, it's on my cell phone. I thought I had it printed out. Jeff, Terry, I'm 55, and you're right, making weird life choices. I think it's best to accept where you are, but our natural, I guess the way we're built, the fight or flight thing, is to just battle, I'm not going to be one of those guys that gives up. I know too many people my age and even 10 years younger than me that have just given up. This is where I am. I got a couple kids. I got a decent job, and there's nothing wrong with that. I am one who's constantly pushing the boundaries to see what I can do and all that kind of crap. Let me get the email that somebody said. It's a pretty quick one. Boo. Where is it? Let me see. Come on. Okay, let's see here. Come on. Boobity boop. Okay, let's see here as I go through this. El Burrito Feliz. I had a burrito today. That's the receipt. Anyway, I don't see the email, but I do know what the gist was, okay? It was a guy that was talking about something that I had posted on Instagram. And they wanted to know where, I'm sorry, I was just reading something here. Mellow Daniela, who's very hot, by the way. This winter blues we're reading into too much deep. No, it's not. It's not. I know what the winter blues feels like. I can feel that in my soul. This is definitely a stage of life issue for me. So you guys are going to watch me go through a painful time because I am not going to go hide. I'm going to talk about it. It's going to be a part of my my YouTube channel. I'll even throw some stuff in there on the Lex and Terry show from time to time. But this is definitely what I'm going through. And if I can figure some things out for anybody who starts to feel this way, that would be great. I would love to do that. But anyway, the email I got was somebody that was commenting on something that I posted on Instagram about trying to find and recapture those powerful moments that you have in your life. And I do know that like attracts like. I do know that, and I say this to myself every day when I walk out the door. I say it when I'm getting ready. I'm weird like this. I just say to myself, what energy I'm going to put out today, I'm going to get back. So if I'm a dick, people are going to be mean to me. If I'm hopeful, nice things might happen. And I always choose for the hopeful thing. I really do. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate that. Growth is how we grow. And hopefully some people will just continue to do that. But the person wanted to know, and I've been desperately trying to find my way back to those hopeful moments that I've had in life. And then I started thinking about the most hopeful time I ever had was when I was working at this radio station in Santa Barbara called K-Tide. And it was a great radio station. And let me tell you a little bit something about radio that, that is out there. When you're in a small market, and K-Tide, I don't know where it was. It's Santa Barbara, California. Not a big giant thing. LA stations could get into there, but you couldn't get LA stations from, LA couldn't hear me from Santa Barbara. So it's basically the minor leagues of radio. At that time it was. And you know that not everybody's going to make it to the majors. Not everybody's going to continue on. In fact, at the K-Tide days, there are many people that were just there because they loved music. Or people were there because they loved community, or they loved the city of Santa Barbara. But then there were a few of us that loved it because we loved the challenge of radio. And I wanted to see how far I could go in radio. And it's all I ever thought about. And I know that this is the key. And this is what's so hard with me, is narrowing down what I believe I really want to do. And the sooner you can get to that, the better you're going to be. But I've had these talks before. I had them with, I'm going to name drop, but it's not really that big of a name, Glenn Phillips from Toad the Wet Sprocket. And, he's in this band and he's the singer. And we had this talk because we all grew up in Santa Barbara at the same time. And we both acknowledged, he was in the band side, I was in the radio side, but we both acknowledged what a spiritual, beautiful place that was. And how many people out there, not just in the band scene and the radio scene and all that, everybody just had hopes and dreams. And, this is like late 80s, early 90s. It was just a wonderful time. But a lot of the people that I worked with, usually if you work in the minor leagues of radio, nobody ever really makes it. And what is making it? Usually making it is going to a major market or things like that. That's what people, I want to go to New York, LA, Chicago, San Francisco, all that stuff, which I ended up doing. I worked at this radio station, pretty much San Francisco, KOME. The real saying was, don't touch that dial, it has cum on it. Absolute truth. Or the cum spot on your dial, 98.5. This is where I worked when I met Terry Jaymes, my damn wife. Anyway, so a lot of the people from that radio station that I worked with, we all had that vibe. We all knew, you instinctively knew that it was a magical time. And I think that if you're trying to find your way into some positive thinking, into creating these magical moments and these magical opportunities, you have to look around your world and say, this is a magical time. Right now, I could sit around and go, AI is going to kill me. Radio's changing, I'm fucked. Everyone's losing their job, the political unrest, the this, the that. You could just make all kinds of shit like that happen in your mind if you want. Or you could view it like I'm viewing it as a new opportunity. And that there's some exciting things. You could view it at the very least as this is an exciting time to be alive. If you are not viewing life like that right now, you are not going to go anywhere. You're just not going to go anywhere. You're going to sit around and you're going to push your cards in and you go, that's it, I'm done. I can't handle this. And yeah, I'm at an age where I look stupid. I know how dumb I look trying to do a YouTube channel at my stage of life. There's very few people out there like me doing it. Maybe that's a plus. But there's a thing in the back of my mind going, listen, I know how ridiculous I'm going to look, but I'm going to push through. I'm going to keep doing it. Okay? So, the point, what I was saying about this time in Santa Barbara, why it was such a magical moment, was because of also the people that I surrounded myself with. Hopefully you work in an environment where you have some other people that push you and excite you and give you, some really good ideas and support you. Even though I was in a very competitive environment in Santa Barbara. Everybody wanted to do the morning show. Everybody wanted to do the afternoon show. Everybody wanted all this type of stuff. And there was that, but we still all really loved each other and we pushed each other further than anybody could. We supported each other without ego, without anything. I never felt that from any of my coworkers. I pray they never felt that from me. And I'm going to give you a list of people that I worked with. There's a guy named Mark Avery. Mark Avery went on to work in Los Angeles at KLOS. He's a voiceover guy. I hear him all the time on Fox Sports West. I hear his voice all over the place. We still stay in contact. My friend Jane Asher, who's a writer and author, she has her own radio stuff going on. She's now one of the foremost people in grief out there that is doing things. James Taylor was a younger kid not that much younger than me, but he was a little younger. And he was my producer at the time. And James Arnold Taylor, Google him, he's the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Fred Flintstone, this and that. I mean, the guy is just killing it in the voiceover industry. He's killing it. Program directors that I worked with at that time, sure, there were some dickhead ones, but they've all moved on to do bigger and better things. So it was a very special time. And I just want to say, just because you kissed the sky one time, which I have been able to do, and it was a long kiss, man. It was many years I was kissing the sky. I couldn't have been happier. I couldn't have been healthier. I couldn't have been more cocky, but hopefully I wasn't a dick about it. But just because you kissed the sky once, and think about it, all of you have all had these moments where you're on top of the world. You got the job, you got the chick, you got the whatever. And you all want to feel, you want to keep that vibe going. But just because you kissed it once doesn't mean you can't do it again. Just remember that. That's one of the things that I'm always going through right now. Let's go to here. Let's go to the chat. Let's see here. Let's go to Kevin here. Been listening. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Kevin. That really hurts my feelings. I appreciate that. Let's go to Tyler. Can we talk about the Super Bowl halftime show? I have an idea. Sure, Tyler. Either you could type it in or you could even call me right now at this number. I'm going to put this number up here. If you guys want to call me, I will do my best to answer this phone. We'll see how things work here. Let me put that up there. So if there's anything you want to talk about, you're more than welcome to do that. Let's see here. Yeah. We'll talk about if you have a solution. I don't even know why there has to be a solution. This is where I'm frustrated with people. I have friends in my life who love the Super Bowl as it is. And they don't care who's doing the halftime show. It's the least thing on their mind. Then I also have some friends who are very pissed off about it and think that, and do all that kind of stuff. And it is really strange to me that, I'll just say it. If you are doing what your favorite news channel tells you to do, you got suckered. You got suckered into it. They told you what to think, you thought it, and then you went out and barfed it out to everybody in the world. You look like a fool, all right? It's just a halftime show. It hurts no one. Don't watch. You don't have to make a statement. Everybody has to make a statement. The left makes the statements. The right makes the statements. Everybody wants to make a statement. Why don't we just make a statement as people and go, shut the fuck up and just watch the game? And nobody cares what you think. And that's another thing. Nobody cares what I think. How egotistical is that to think that I got the answer for the Super Bowl halftime show? Boy, let's go to Terry sitting in his basement in Seattle. He's got the whole thing covered. Let's see. Here's Tyler again. Let's see what Tyler says. Marching bands would showcase. Hold on. Is somebody calling or no? Maybe not. Marching bands would showcase the accomplishment of individuals in marching bands. Oh, that's not a bad idea. But I don't care. Once again, I probably wouldn't watch that. I am not a Big Bunny. I am not a Big Bunny fan. What's his name? Bad Bunny. I'm not a Bad Bunny fan. I don't hate him. I could buy into what one side is saying. Oh, he's a Mexican. And then the other people going, he's from America. I've seen it all. It's just people repeating what they heard somebody else say. It's not your own original thought. You never would have had that thought had your favorite news station or your favorite podcast told you to feel that way. So shut the fuck up. All right, let's see here. Rick, none of us has a dog in this. You're right. It doesn't matter to any of us. Why are we letting it get us upset? Let's see here. Let's go here. I'm proud of what you watch multiple channels you have. Wombats for life. Wombat power, baby. I love the wombat thing. Here's one thing that I'm going to be doing more on this YouTube channel. So if you're not following me on YouTube, I would really appreciate if you would, because I am going to be doing some stuff. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm going to be streaming live from the house. I'm going to be recording some things, and I'm going to just so I could learn more how to edit some things. I got a lot to learn, guys. I got a lot to learn. Danielle, I give zero fucks about anything, but I have a strong opinion on everything, even topics I'm not informed. At least you admit it, Mellow Daniello. I can fall into that category. I mean, my job is to have an opinion. And, and sometimes I will throw an opinion out there just because it's the opposite of somebody else's. I mean, that's a little secret, that we're letting you in on. I mean, it's not necessarily what we believe. We got a talk show. And if we can make you guys think and talk amongst yourself, that's fantastic. Let's see here. Let's go to Randy, whatever brings the views. Absolutely. Let's go to this. Let's see what else. Marching bands. Ian is saying, your midlife crisis is over. Boy, I wish I could say that. I'm well past midlife, but I don't know what constitutes a midlife crisis. Not being happy where I am and still wanting to push the clock back a little bit, be as energetic and as presentable as possible, have my own vibe. I'm very conscious of that, which I probably shouldn't be, but I am. I want my own vibe. I want my own thing. Like I talked about growing my hair longer, maybe. I like that's going to change my life any. I don't think so. But yeah, I think I'm having some sort of crisis. I don't know if it's a midlife crisis. I don't even know if it's a crisis because I really know what's going on. I think a midlife crisis, you're just acting on your ego because you're, ego. I know where all these thoughts I'm having are coming from. And I know that I'm in control of the way that I look at anything in my life. And I know this. So maybe it's not a crisis. Maybe I'm just trying to manifest. I'm having a late life manifestation issue. I have no idea. Let's go to this a conversation regarding regrowing, seeing you evolve outside Terry. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's weird because when you do something outside the lines of what you're most known for, and all of you are known for something within your friends and family, and when you start to do something different, people start to look at you different and they start to judge you. They start to talk behind your back. Some cases they might be jealous. Some cases they might be loving and telling you, hey, you may not want to do that. You look pretty stupid, that type of stuff. But anytime you do something different, you're going to get grief. And I've gotten a lot of grief. Guys don't see my DMs. It's really strange that people will take time out of their day to just be mean to somebody who's trying to do something. But you know what? I've been so mean to people over my life. I feel like I got some coming my way. There's that. Let's see here. Been a long time listener. Glad you're trying to grow in other ways. Yeah. Oh, I hope you are too. I hope you are too, Swingle. Yeah, I hope we're all trying to grow. And that's the type of people that I kind of want on this show. We have the title of what I'm talking is Shine, and you have to go out every day and say it to yourself. I know it's kind of corny, but you have to do it. You got to get in your own mind. Life is a mind screw. And you got to screw with your own mind if you want to jump forward. And you've got to go, you know what? Today, I've said it before. I've said it to myself going into coffee shops. Today, I'm just going to go in there and kind of shine a little bit. I'm going to be kind to the baristas. I'm going to crack a joke if I can. If somebody behind me in line has got a dog, I'm going to pet the dog and buy him a coffee. I'm going to do this stuff because I just want to be that guy. I want to be that guy. And it's not easy for me to do these things. We talked about it on the Lex and Terry show. Basically, I like being alone. I like it. I'm totally comfortable being by myself. I do not need to be with anybody. And my wife even knows it. She knows it. She knows it. And sometimes she'll even say, if I'm acting weird or irritable, she'll say, you need some time alone, Terry. You want to go for a walk by yourself or something. You want to go for a drive. You want to, just be alone, because she knows that I will regroup. I will find energy in that, and I will get inspired from what I see around me. When I'm alone, I'm not sitting around counting all the bad things. I could easily do that. Right now, I could walk outside my front door and look outside today's trash day. I could go, they haven't even picked up the trash yet. What the hell's going on? So where's the mail? My mail's not here. Why are these people parked over here? Who's honking the horn down the street? Unbelievable. That dog just took a dump in somebody's yard and they didn't pick it up. I could see all that, and I do see all that, but I have a decision to let it screw with my mind or not. I could also see the good things. I could also walk outside and smell something that somebody's cooking and go, oh man, I wonder what that is. Or I could see a dog and the dog will come up and say hi to me. Or I could walk to the store. Like today when I walked around, I was noticing it's not as cold as usual. This is a beautiful day. It's still cool, but this is a nice kind of mild day today. I'm so proud and happy that I just have to wear a hoodie today. You know, it's just a matter of the way you frame your day. That's all it is. Let's see here. Randy Flanker, that's what I think. He has affected so many people in a positive way. Can claim he's a dick at times, but that's a charm too. That's just who he is and shouldn't change it. Yeah, listen, my option, and I appreciate that. Thank both of you guys. I really appreciate you guys saying that. It really does mean a lot to me. I see these comments and it makes me feel good. I'm not going to lie. Okay. So much better than the people that are saying bad things, which they will. Those don't register so much. But choosing to, this is one thing that people mistake, choosing to be a positive person and to walk outside like I've talked about and to look for good things instead of bad, choosing that is a much better option than anything else. But if somebody crosses me and pushes me a little bit, you can bet I'm not going to back down. You can bet I'll either give them an earful. If you got to square up, you got to square up. I'm never going to do anything vindictive to somebody. I'm not going to, make a fake account and go after it. I'm never going to ever do anything like that. But in the heat of the moment, through meditation and quote unquote, that bullshit saying mindfulness, but mindfulness just knows I have a moment in time here. If somebody pushes me, I've got that split second where I could go, how am I going to handle this? Do I want to hit them? Do I want to laugh it off and go? At least I have that moment to make a decision. I very rarely now get any knee-jerk reactions. And I think that those of you that listen to the Lex and Terry show on a regular basis have seen that in me over the years. And it just didn't happen overnight. I did it on purpose. I was tired of being knee-jerk. When people would say that I would kill a fly with a hammer, I would do that in my personal life as well. I would, I'm Irish. And I know that's an excuse thing, but I've got that temperament and I didn't like that about me. I didn't like that about me at all. So I did so many different things. I've never gone to therapy. I've never done anything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I've studied on my own and through meditation and things like that. I now have got myself to a split second to realize may not be personal what they're saying. If it's personal, I'll have to deal with it. But yeah, it's helped a lot. And some people will say, oh, that's made you lighter, Terry. You're softer now. Good. I'm glad I am. All right. I'm glad I'm more of a healthy-minded person than I used to be. So say what you want. I'm good. I'm good with that. Let's see here. What else, you guys? Anybody else have any questions or anything like that I can get to? Otherwise, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to go see what there is to eat in the thing. Today was supposed to be a cleanse day. I didn't do that. I went and got some chicken tacos, but they were the little teeny street tacos with nothing else on them but grilled chicken and tortilla, a little bit of lime over the top. Fan-frickin-tastic. Let's see here. At least you attempt new things, get some stuff. Exactly. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Rich. You're a good man. And I love this comment right here. This is great. That's where Saki came from. Saki did come from that. And I'm a little scared because when we were doing our show from our homes, which I don't know, might be an option somewhere down the line for us, I was using the baby voice. And the baby voice, where is it?
Is that the baby voice? Hold on. Is that the baby voice? Yes, the baby. The baby says some stuff that I don't necessarily want to say. I don't know why this dumb sound effect makes me just feel like it's not me. And I'll say it. So there you go. But I love the baby. I love the baby. Casey, let me turn this off.
Casey. She's working on that herself. Yeah. And you know what? Keep working. Keep going for it. Just keep doing it. It will pay off. You'll find a way. If there's something means something to you, you will find a way. Whether you have to go to YouTube University on it, whether you've got to get some sort of therapy, whether you just decide to try to do it yourself and take note of these situations that you don't like who you are in those situations, you will find a way. And people will notice. And then when they notice, they're going to get mad at you and they're going to call you light and they're going to tell you that you're a fraction of what you used to be. When I'm here to tell you right now, make no mistake about this. And this could be considered cocky. I am about to do, I believe, some of the best work I've ever done. That is just me being me and attracting the right kind of people around me that are like me, you know? And I love being around a group of people. I mean, if you've been on this thing, I hate to tell you this, if you've been here since the start of this stream, and I've got people on, I'm on 3 different, it says how many people are watching. I'm on 3 different things. I'm on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. And if you've been through most of this conversation, I hate to tell you this, we're alike. We like talking about this stuff. We like hearing about this stuff. These are all conversations I would love to sit down with each and every single one of you on a sidewalk and just sit here and talk about stuff like this. I will tell you, there's a guy that I knew. He's in a rock band. And God, I hate that a lot of my stories sound like I'm name dropping. But I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about like attracts like. And if you open up yourself, you're going to meet the right people, and the wrong people are just going to move on, you know? But I'm going to tell you about this one moment that I really haven't talked to many people about this. When I lived in Australia, I met some Australian bands, you know, Paul Kelly, who I love. A lot of you people don't know who he is, but he's basically Australia's Bruce Springsteen. Just a great guy. I remain in contact with him at all, but and this guy might be a controversial figure for you. But the singer from INXS, Mike Hutchins, I was at one of his shows. I was there to introduce the band. I was doing all that stuff, and I was backstage, and he and I just kind of hit it off. And I've hit it off with quite a few different celebrities, and we've talked about a lot of them are women that I joke about. But he and I just kind of hit it off. And this was in Santa Barbara. And after the show one night in Santa Barbara, he said, "What are you doing?" "Everybody's going out partying." I said, "I'm just going to probably, go down to the beach, walk around." He goes, "Mind if I join you?" I said, "Absolutely." So he and I, the singer from INXS, Mike Hutchins, before he strangled himself jerking off. Listen, I know what the score is, okay? But we sat on a wall until the sun came up talking about this exact stuff. Manifesting things, how he manifested the band and how he manifested his ways in life. I was talking about how I came from nothing and tried to manifest things. And I'll tell you, I am a master manifester. I know how to do it. I don't know how to teach others necessarily how to do it, but I know how to do it. And it is a lot of fun, and it doesn't come easily. But he and I had this talk till the sun came up. And the next day, we said goodbye. And then we started to call each other and talk to each other. And I would go to many shows. And after every concert, he and I would sit down and have these exact kind of talks that we're doing right now. So much. It was such a magical time. So that's what's cool. Let's go to this. Let's go to it, Randy here. I'm just a good old boy from the South, and I feel like we're from two different worlds, but I'm intrigued by your thoughts and progress, and it makes this old country boy want to do better. You know what? I really get tired, and I appreciate that, Randy. I really get tired of I'm just a good old boy from the South, and I don't like the people going, oh, you're from California or West Coast versus this and that. You'd be surprised. I've been around a lot, and so everybody's the same. Everybody just wants some success. They want to laugh. They don't want to feel like they've been ripped off or lied to. We are so much more alike than you even know, dude. You and I could probably hang out all day, Randy, and maybe you're just hanging out with different people. And I understand that there are certain regional things. Growing up in Hollywood, I bet, in Southern California, I was surrounded by people that wanted to be in the business. The sun's out, people are doing things. Everywhere you looked, there was money, nice cars and this and that. But if you're like in some small town in Alabama, you don't see that. And you are around people that don't see that and have never experienced it. And I understand this, but it doesn't make you who you are. Just because I'm from California doesn't make me this thing. There are so many people like you and like me, Randy, and just in the outskirts of California that are crazy. People think that Seattle is that way. You wouldn't believe how many people see life the way you do, see life like a Southerner or something out there, Randy. I love good old boys. Those are some of my best friends, until we start talking about politics, which everybody knows that my beliefs are all over the place, but I can admit it. I'm one of the few people that can admit that if there's somebody that I support, whether it's an athlete or a politician or a best friend or a family member or whatever, I can admit when they are wrong. I could be disappointed in them. I will never make an excuse for somebody else to make me look better. That's on them. Whatever they're doing wrong is on them. Then they're going to have to deal with it. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, let's go to here. You should like your own Terry verses. I don't go around getting pissed off all the time, Tyler. I don't. I really don't. Let's see here. Let's go to this. That's 100%, Ian. I really believe that. And that's why I want to be around people here and create our own little group of people. And please subscribe to, because I got some other things coming up. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, because a lot of stuff is going to be moved over there. And please subscribe to my newsletter, because I'm going to send out some articles that I find interesting that can make you think a little differently. Not necessarily that I wrote. These are, I learn from everybody. I'm inspired from everybody around me. This person right here. I would love to find like-minded people here, local. I like people. And Casey, you will. You found me. We're together. We don't talk as much as I would like, but Casey works at the radio station that we're on in Springfield, Missouri. And she's pretty much the face of that radio station. She's awesome. And I've said it before, anytime you want to talk, I would love to talk to you about any of this stuff. You don't have to, you just have to kind of be picky about who you hang out with. You don't have to be a dick, but you definitely are a product of who your friends are. Now, what's that saying? They're your top 5 friends. You're a combination of all those. And you know what? If I think about that, I don't even have a top 5 friends. I probably have a top 3 friends. And I am proud to be like them. I am so lucky to be like them, and I know they feel the same about me. So there's definitely strength in being around people like that. But you have to make the choice to do it. And that's you've made the choice to watch today, and that really means a lot to me. Thank you, Randy, again. I really appreciate what you're saying. Guys, thanks for sticking with me for all these little dumb ideas that I have. I mean, on the surface, I know some people think they're stupid, but I do have a plan behind everything. Like I said, I'm a master manifester. Right now, I'm still trying to learn. I love YouTube. Do I think I'm going to get rich off of it? No. Would I like to supplement my income? Absolutely. Would I like it if all radio goes to hell or the Lex and Terry show is over with one day or anything like that? God forbid. Would I like to have something else set up where I could still talk about stuff like this with people like you? 100%. And if it made money, that would be great. I would love it. But I'm not doing it for the money, but it's nice to know that there's a little bag at the end if you do it correctly. And I'm trying to learn how to do things correctly. And so, trial and error. You're going to see me do some weird things coming up here on my YouTube channel. You're going to see me cooking a dinner for Sherry. You're going to see me editing a video together. You won't see me edit, but you're going to see a video that's going to look really bad. It is going to look bad. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to see what people like about it, what they're saying about it, what they don't like. And I'm going to do what I really think is best. But I have so much to learn. I have so much to learn. We all do. Let's see here. Let's go to this. This is Mark Engelhardt again. Your whole career is an inspiration to me and others. In fact, embrace what I dreamed to do and chased it. You're still chasing it. Kudos, my friend. I've talked about Mark before. Mark is one of my oldest friends, and it's so good to see him on here. And his brother Mike, his other brother Todd, his sister Tammy, Ma and Pa. Mean the world to me. I would not be anything in my life, and I'm saying this for real, I would not be anything in my life without friends like them. I could have easily, as a young kid, 6th grade, because there were others, Mark will tell you, there were some other guys there that were, to me, were kind of sketchy. There was Wes. There were, let's see here, Scott and Rick, and those people were not nice to me. They just weren't nice to me. They made fun of me a lot because I didn't go drinking, I didn't smoke weed, I didn't do any of that. And, and Mark's brother, Mike, is probably, I'm very close to both of them, but I think Mike and I were definitely, they're the same grade and everything else. And Mike and I, and Mark probably doesn't even know this, Mike and I were not that long ago. Sherry and I were in Santa Barbara. My wife and I were in Santa Barbara. We're having dinner with Mike and his wife, Susan. And my wife and Susan had a lot in common. They were kind of crazy when they were younger a little bit. They partied. They did all that stuff. And Susan asked us, she asked Mike, how come you guys didn't go down that big party and crazy road? And Mike looked right at me and said, because I didn't want to disappoint him. And I felt the exact same way. I teared up a little bit there. But that's the type of friends I'm talking about. The friends that you hold accountable, friends that you don't want to let down. And you just don't want to be that guy. And I think if you just do that, if you just are like that, you're going to crank it. You're going to crush it. Okay, now that I'm done talking, let's go to this. Let's go to Chris. We could definitely do that. The Lex and Terry show on YouTube. We are researching ways to do that. We are refurbishing Sudden Death right now. We're going to try to do some different things. It might piss some of the people off in the Zoom room a little bit because they'll still be able to be in the Zoom, but one of the options we're looking at right now is definitely to where we could make it more visual. And that means people can't look at each other, but they could look at us. They could read the chat and talk to each other and all that. That's one of them. Let's go to this. Mark. Ooh, I love that. Love you, buddy. And that's true, Mark. That's absolute truth. Very funny. It was a memorable night for me. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to be trying to do everything every Tuesday night at this time, around this time. And I find this time works best. I'm also going to be doing some pre-recorded things on the YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm going to be. I've got one thing I'm working on right now with Chef Tom Gray and Panini Pete from the Food Network, where they're going to be on camera with me and show me or tell me how to make Sherry something for dinner, then I'm going to try to make it and piece it together. Just fun things like that. There's just a lot of dumb little things that I want to do. Guys, thanks for being here. As you can tell, you've given me energy. I start these shows all the time with going, in the back, unless I'm human. In the back of my mind, I'm going, what are these people going to think of me if I say some of the stuff that I really think? And in the back of my mind, but by the end of it, I'm on a high. This stuff right here is when I feel most alive. I love comedy. I love doing dick jokes. It's so much fun. But this stuff with you guys, freaking fantastic. Have a great night, guys. I love you a lot. I really mean that. Have a good night. Bye-bye.